Woman on third, 2 outs, batter swings. It's a seeing eye single between second and short, and the winning run is coming home. That's what it might sound like if a long-running weekly women's softball game in Prospect Park had an announcer, but instead it has a filmmaker, and she's here to talk about the documentary she's making. It's called Grounders, and before we meet the director, let's watch the trailer.
My favorite position is on the field, anywhere. I don't care. Softball is something that I enjoy doing, that I can do all day, every day, never want to take a day off.
First of all, I can't even hear the coaches half the time. She'll be screaming and this is all I see. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay, coach. By that time, the ball's coming and I'm like, it's probably why she told me to move left. I don't know.
I was super nervous about the trying out aspect of it. I don't like overly competitive situations, and having the tryouts was sort of like, is this league too serious for me?
I like softball. That's as simple as that is what I'm thinking. It's not any formulas, it's not a thesis running through my head. It is so simple with, I just like being on this dirt.
One day I said to Joni, where is everybody every Wednesday? And she's like, oh, we all play in Prospect Park. You should try out. I was like, oh, well, I live in the Bronx, and I don't know. She's like, try out. Here I am. You know, I was in the league 17 years.
So every game I get steadily a little bit better.
I like people cheering for me, and I like to support other people too.
Softball brings people from different walks of life into the same arena.
And my favorite park, that's Grounders. Here to tell us about the game and the film is its creator and director, Melanie Hope. Welcome to BK Live, Melanie.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm excited to be here.
All right.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Tell us, how did you first become involved in the softball group?
Well, the league has actually been around since 1981.
Right.
I joined in 2004. And
So you
when I
play.
moved to Brooklyn, I play in the league.
I bet you're good.
Well, I'm okay. I've been playing since I was a kid, you know, and so once I joined the league, you know, it's the type of league that I had always wanted to join. Groups of women playing together, you know, the games happening on the field, a lot of stuff is happening on the sidelines, you know, it's a whole community event, really. It's not just about the game, you know, and people join for a lot of different reasons, you know. I'm an athlete, I've played all my life, and I wanted to play again.
Right.
And the Prospect Park Women's Softball League is just an amazing organization. And there are 12 teams of 20 women on each team. And, you know, we play weeknights in Prospect Park. And after being in the league for a few years, I just thought this would be a great documentary. You know, someone just needs to come out here with a camera and make this happen. And so that's what I started doing.
Were you already a filmmaker, or was this your first foray into it because of the great idea?
Well, I've done a little bit of video and film things, but over 20 years ago. So it wasn't my first time picking up a camera or trying to direct something, but it's the first feature-length documentary I've directed. And, you know, I was just inspired by the women out there. And I thought, you know, there are great stories here. There are stories that people can relate to, whether you know about softball, whether you play, whether you've never played, you know, and it's been just blossoming from that initial idea. I started shooting in July of 2013, and we're still shooting through this season.
I know how that
And
goes.
yeah, so
It's the first time since 2003 that the U.S. is sending a men and women's softball team to the Pan American Games. Am I right about that?
I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
You probably are. I
am
been
right.
following. Okay,
I am
trust
right.
you on that.
I mean, I love sports. You spoke about the sense of community. I love sports. What is it about that you would tell somebody that doesn't kind of understand that they could take away from something like a women's softball league?
Well, what I would say is that I think sports, especially for girls and women, is a great thing. You know, it helps build your confidence. It helps build your team building skills. You know, it teaches you to do something. It really combats sort of media images about women's bodies. You know, when you're athletic, you feel better about your body. You want to be strong. You want to be active. It teaches you how to lose. It teaches you how to win. It teaches you how to work with other people. You know, so I think sports in general is a positive thing, both physically and mentally for people. You know, and in a lot of the interviews that I've done, you know, people want to join a team. They want to be part of a team. And the really cool thing about this league, the Prospect Park Women's Softball League, is that you don't have to have experience to join it. You know, you can come in as an absolute beginner and join the league. And each team is required to have players of all different levels. You know, so, you know, the girls who were, you know, sort of left out in the recess yard, who then shied away from sports, can come to this league, you know, and some women are coming from that experience, you know, and overcoming those fears.
You're very vocal about non-traditional gender identification. How does that play out in the documentary?
Well, what's really interesting in this community around the league, and something that Grounders, I think, is capturing, is that, you know, the women who come out to play, you know, they could be coming from a corporate job, they could be coming from work as a school teacher, they could be a stay-at-home mom. They're all coming together to play, okay? The league has been an inclusive place. There have been and are transgender women in the league. There are women of all sexualities. There are women from 18 years old up into their upper 50s, I would say. So it really cuts across sort of, you know, any kind of stereotype, you know. In fact, what I think is really interesting in the league is that there are a lot of women who would not cross paths were it not for the league. You know, so they're coming from all parts of Brooklyn. People even come from Staten Island, from the Bronx, from Jersey, to play. You know, so coming out to play, I think, sort of creates a community where gender fluidity is permissible. You know, it's not trying to sort of mandate what you need to be, put anyone in a box, label anyone. You're there to play, and that's what we're doing.
You're still developing the film. How do people support it?
Well, it would be great for people to follow Grounders on social media. We're on Twitter at Grounders Doc. We're on Instagram, Grounders Documentary. We're on Facebook, Grounders Documentary. So all of those things would be great for people to kind of join in. You know, we're still in production. We're still trying to get people excited about the film, to build the audience, to build a crowd. We're looking into sort of a crowdfunding campaign down the road. You know, that's one of the big challenges is raising money to produce a film.
Always is.
Yeah.
Always is. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, we
with
wish you
us.
the best of luck in that effort, and thank you for being here. Looking
Thank you
forward
so
to seeing
much.
Grounders.
All right.
Absolutely.